My name is Jensen. Let's learn some UiPath. Today we will look at get queue items and get transaction item in UiPath. It was a question I got through one of my videos from Editor. He asked how we do with get queue item and he wanted to have a comparison with the transaction item. So I decided to make a video, and first we will make an actual queue. So we go to Orchestrator, and in queues I got non-queues, but I'll make one here. So click add, and we will call this Editor. You can call this whatever you want, and then we'll click add. So now we got an empty queue here. Let me close this and drag this a little in, like this. And now we will add items to the queue so we can get them, and we can get the transaction items. So let's go to UiPath. First, we will create a queue variable. In this flowchart, I just added in a flowchart here. So we'll have a variable, create variable, and this one could be like str queue name. That queue name will be whatever we made in Orchestrator. So in my case, Editor, like this. Then we will, in this flowchart, we will create a sequence. So drag in a sequence. Our first sequence that will be to add to our queue. And we will rename this add to queue. Maybe like this. And then we will get some data in, and I created an Excel sheet here with just 2 columns, ID and name, 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and 3 dogs. The name of dogs. So we want to add them to the queue and try to work with them. So let me close this one. This one is in sheet 1. So what we'll do here is that we'll first read them as an Excel. So we'll have an Excel application scope. Drag this guy in. Sorry, we just need to open it. Drag this guy in here. And we will refer to where it's placed. Mine is on the desktop. It's called dogs, like this. Then we will unmark the visible here, and now we can choose to read in the range. So choose in the read range from the Excel activities, drag it in, we'll read in sheet 1, and we will output it to a data table. I'll just say, I'll output it to DT docs, like this. So usually here we can choose to ask UiPath, or actually Orchestrator, how many items we got in the queue, because if we got any items in the queue, sometimes we don't want to add anything more to the queue. So what we can do is that we can use the queue items, and the queue items will generate us a list that we can work with. So what we'll do is that we'll first drag in a get queue items here, and right now the queue is empty, so there will be nothing in this queue, but and we will put in our queue variable up here. So that's one we are getting from. And then we will create an output variable down here in output, and that'll be of the type IEnumerable. So Control K, and we can say IEnumerable queue, like this. So now we have a IEnumerable, and we can, for example, if we want to have in an if just to inspect if the queue is empty, then we can drag in an if. And we will ask if this IEnumerable queue count, if that is greater than 0, well, then there's something on the queue. So then we want to say, then we want to maybe just stop the process. Otherwise we can go over here. So right now we will just have in a write line over here because we have nothing on the queue, and then we'll just say queue is empty. That's just so I can see how it works. Queue is empty. So this one will just count the number of items in the queue in this IEnumerable. So let's try to run this. Sorry, like this. And right now there's nothing in because we haven't placed anything on the queue. So there'll be a write line saying that the queue is empty. UiPath is still working. We can see it here, like this, and we can go down to output. And we can say that our write line queue is empty. That's fine. So let's say that we just want to add something to the queue. Then we will let's go up here. So we'll just say a bulk add queue items. This is really not the theme of this video because I made another good video, I think, about it. So just find this. But we'll add bulk add queue items, and we'll choose our data table dt docs, and we will add it to our queue. So now we will add 3 items to the queue, and then we can, if we move this, if we change the order of this, then we can add them here, and then we can get them here. And then the queue won't be empty because we'll have 3 items in, and we'll go over here. So that's our add to queue and how we can use get queue items. We will come back to the get queue items in a bit. So let's go to our main. Now we will inspect the data. So we'll drag in another sequence here, like this, and this one could be named inspect data. Of course, you can choose to do some operations here. I just want to look at it because I don't really got any missions here. And here we can loop through, because now we got the queue items, each one of them in a list in an IEnumerable, and then we can just look at them and write something out. So what we can do here is that we can have a for each row, sorry, a for each here, and for each item in IEnumerable. And then we need to change the scope, so we go back to our main, go up here, and this variable, so we got the queue item here, and we get the variable with the IEnumerable queue. We need to change that to the flowchart, the entire scope, like this. And we can go back, and now we can find it up here in our intelligent auto-completion, like this. So now we will loop through this IEnumerable list. There will be 3 items now, and we could just inspect them with a right line, or yeah, whatever. We can do something with them. However, we need to change this type argument up here, and it could be tempting to choose this one because this said queue item. However, this is an IEnumerable of queue item, so we need to browse for types, and then we will have a queue item. This one is a little bit slow. Go down to UiPath core and choose this queue item, like this. So now we can do something. We could write out something. We could say like item specific content, and then we can choose to parentheses, quotation marks, and then we can, so each one of the type arguments we could choose to write out. So we could have the name written out, we could have the idea written out, just have a, and then a toString, like this. So then we could inspect the data. However, we won't do it here, we'll just leave it blank. But that's how you can use this and loop through each of the get queue, the IEnumerable from the get queue item. So now we inspected data, and then we could, so this one just got us a list. Now we could start to process it with the get, or we could start to get the items one by one. So we'll drag in another sequence. Let me close this variable manager. Have the sequence down here, connect these two, like this. And this one could be renamed to get transactions, transaction data maybe, like this. And in here there will just be a get transaction item, like this. Now we'll mark this, and we need to have a queue name, and we just have a variable for that, str queue name. Then we'll output it to a queue item or a transaction item. So we will press Ctrl K, tr item, and now we need to change this scope as well for this, because we'll use it in the next sequence out in the flowchart. So we will change the scope to the flowchart, like this, and we won't do anything here. So now we just got them one by one, and we can start to work with them. So let's first have a flow decision, because we won't be creating an infinite loop, so to say. So we need to ask if the queue is empty. So let us drag in a flow decision here. First of all, we could say, we could call this in the display name, we could call this empty queue. So now we'll ask if the queue is empty, then we're going to do something. Otherwise, we will process the latest transaction item that we got up here. So the condition, that is that tr item is nothing. That means if there's nothing in it, then we want to end the process or this flowchart. So if this is nothing, then we want to do something. And we can see here, if that is true, then we can go over here. So let's just drag in a message box. Here. We could of course also have made a sequence with it, but this is just the last step here, so we'll just make a message box. We'll double click it, and we can say that nothing on the queue, job done, like this. Then we'll go to our main again, and we can start to process it. Say that we have the transaction item is not nothing. Then we want to go over here and let's just write a right line out with the doc's name. So what we'll do here is that we'll say, now we are over here. Then we can take the tr item, and then specific content, and then we can choose what to write. We could write out the idea, however, we will write out the name here. We could of course write out both of them, and then to string. And when this is done, we will go up here and get the next transaction item. And if there's any, we'll go out here again. However, if it's nothing, then we'll come down here and we'll go out in this message box. So this workflow, we created a queue in Orchestrator here. There's nothing in it yet. Then we will go through our flowchart. We can just see it here. There's nothing in it. Then we'll go to our flowchart. First here we'll read the Excel sheet, and then we will bulk add the queue items. We will ask if the queue is empty. It's not, but so this written line will not be written out. Then we will inspect our data here. Nothing's going on here, but you could inspect it if you want with the IEnumerable from the get queue items. And then we will get the transaction data here. We will ask if the queue is empty. If yes, go over here. Otherwise, write out a right line with the name. Here you could have a whole process like store this into a variable and work with it. And then we will go up here again. Let's try to run the workflow to verify that it indeed works. So that we have 3 write lines and then finally a message box. So now we are starting our UiPath workflow. By the way, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get all the new videos about UiPath and RPA. And also, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. That will help me a lot. So now we have nothing on the queue, job done. Let's inspect our output to see that we have written out all doc names. We can see a transaction started, chess, blaze, and spike, and then we have no transaction data, and our workflow has ended. So that's it. Have a good day. Bye bye.